Hello and welcome. My name's Gwen Houghton, and you are watching Tarot for the Soul. The energy that we are moving into is a full moon in Gemini, and this will happen on November 25th at 5:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what does that mean for us? I have this weird thing happen where it's like early in the morning, I'm not quite sleeping, but I'm not quite awake. I will often get a lot of information, and I try to pay attention to that. And the information that I got about this full moon in Gemini was about polarities. It was about seeing the contrast between the light and the darkness. And with everything that's happened with the terrorist attacks, it's really easy to get cynical about what's going on in the universe right now, what's going on in our world. But it also highlights for us all the good that's in the world. And I feel, I just get the sense that that is what this polarity is all about. So I started reading a little bit about Sagittarius, and the Sagittarius is about expansion, and what the gift of the full moon in Gemini is giving us this time around is that we can bring up this information from our ego that's not a fun energy. It'll bring up our deepest, darkest fears, but with the sharp mind of the Gemini, we're able to kind of detach, stand back, and analyze how the ego interacts or interferes with our life. And just a little bit about the ego. The way I see the ego is that it is the part of us, of the mind, born of the mind and the emotions, and it keeps us alive. It's the part of us that, you know, reacts when we're going to get hurt, or it will protect us when we're in danger. But the other thing the ego does is that it's that automatic reaction, so it's not a conscious reaction. So that's why I'm saying this gift of the full moon in Gemini allows us to see what's going on with the ego, so that we can actually change some of the behaviors that we're not particularly fond of in ourselves. And we're also going to be, what's going to be highlighted is we're going to see behaviors in other people that's going to be brought to the surface as well, because that's what happens with the full moon. You know, the darkness, you know, we're able to bring that darkness into the light a little bit. So that's what's going on with that. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do now is I will go into the card spread, and we will see what Spirit has to say and elaborate on the next 2 weeks. So as always, I'm going to start out with a meditation. And today I have here a beautiful rose quartz crystal. And I chose the rose quartz because I feel like with everything that's been happening with the terrorists, and they're trying to instill fear into our lives at this, what is supposed to be a, you know, a magical time, you know, kicking off the holidays of Thanksgiving, which is just about, you know, giving thanks no matter what your religion is. The expansive pink energy in the heart chakra is about world love, universal peace. And the green, if you're into, you know, Reiki or energy medicine. The heart chakra is more about healing of the heart, healing personal, you know, the personal part of us. But the pink nature of the heart chakra is about universal love and healing Mother Earth, healing Gaia. So this this is very fitting for the brand new Sagittarius energy that we just moved into. The sun just moved into Sagittarius on November 22nd, which, and you might have noticed, you know, you might have noticed the shift. So anyway, that is why I have the rose quartz, the pink rose quartz here, and this is what we are going to meditate on today. So take a couple of deep breaths and close your eyes and start to picture a beautiful ball of white light above your head. This white light is filled with love and calming energy. And start to bring this beautiful white light down into your head and gently rock your head back and forth. Helps to release any tension. And bring this beautiful white light down into your neck and shoulders, relaxing as you go. And as you bring this beautiful white light into your chest, breathe it into your chest and exhale out any unwanted energies. They're not good or bad, we just don't need them right now. And continue bringing this beautiful white light down into your waist and hips, down into your knees. This beautiful white light running through your body now, down, all the way down into your ankles, down into your toes, and down into the earth. And any unwanted energies are transmuted into love and light. Now bring beautiful pink energy from the rose quartz up from the earth, Gaia. Bring it up into your feet and your toes and wiggle your toes and feel that beautiful universal healing energy, healing of the universal heart. And continue bringing this beautiful pink energy up into your ankles, and this beautiful pink healing energy is starting to intertwine with a beautiful green healing energy that I see. So it's like a helix of intertwined pink and beautiful green healing energy coming up into your knees, up into your hips and waist. And this beautiful green and pink intertwined energy is filling up your heart, filling up your chest area. Breathe it in. And just sit with this energy. Feel the expansiveness of this energy. And continue bringing this beautiful pink and green energy up through your arms, up through your shoulders, up into your neck. Feel it up into the back of your throat, up into your head. And this beautiful green and pink energy continues up, all the way up into the heavens. And this connects us with all of the heaven and earth. So my intentions for this reading is for the full moon in Gemini on November 25th at 5:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the 2 weeks following. So let's get to it. Let's see what's going on. So I'm going to pick one card from the Animal Speak deck. And it's the 9 of Ancients. The Gila Monster. G-I-L-L. G-I-L-A. Maintain control and beliefs. And if you can see, this lizard has eggs with it that she's guarding. And this lizard also happens to be extremely poisonous. Extremely poisonous if you get bit by one of these. And I just get the sense that this is about transmuting the poison, transmuting the hate and the fear that's going on right now in the earth, and healing of the universal heart. We'll get these cards out of the way. And pick the cards. I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. Pick the next 5 cards for the rest of this. So for the next 5 cards, let's see what we have this week. The Tower. Very interesting. Number 16-7. The Tower represents the ego in the mind, and it represents our thought patterns. And when the Tower starts coming down, I should say when we start awakening, the Tower will start to come down, because we need to build a solid foundation. It's like the House of Cards. The House of Cards is what is coming to my mind. And unfortunately, I feel like there is a lot more coming that will not be pleasant, but it's for the highest good of all, because the fear is reaching a fevered pace. And this is universally, globally. We are all in this state of awakening in different ways. But once you have awakened, you can never go back to sleep. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. Very pertinent card. The next card is the universe. So 21, you know, this is insight. This is the insight of knowing that we need to start doing something different on a global scale, and we need to start acting locally. What do they say? Act. You know, you start in your own backyard. You start with the way you behave. That's the only way you can change anything, and I talk about it all the time. And this is really a very important time for us to do this. It's shit or get off the pot time. You know, if we need to live the kind of world that we want to live in. We can't just stand by and let somebody else do the work. We all have to do our own work. And I feel like this is what this awakening is about. The moon. Another a very interesting and relevant card with what's going on right now. So that is 18-9, which reduces to a 9, and it's about finding the truth within yourself. It's about exploring what it is that you are personally afraid of, because that fear, that ego, is what is stopping you from moving forward. And we all have things that are stopping us. It's not just some people in some ways. It's all of us, and we all have our own shit to work on. You know, even me, I'm definitely not perfect. I'm getting information. I'm aware of what's going on, so I know what I have to work on, but it doesn't mean that I have everything figured out, and nobody does. And if somebody says they do have it all figured out, then you know what? They're lying to themselves, because that's what being a human is all about. It's about learning about who we are and what we're about and what our journey is, and the journey never stops. There is no conclusion. But we have some big work to do right now, on a global scale. We're definitely moving into a new age right now. And I don't know all of what's going on astrologically or energetically, but I feel like this is a very, very, very important time, as I've said before. And this is the 8 of Wands. And this is the knowledge. This is the knowledge of knowing what we have to do to create the universe that we want to live in. And I see all the colors of the rainbow, and the light, the bright, the happiness that we all want, the excitement of having a place that we can be proud of, whether it's the United States or whether it's Canada or whether it's Iran. We all have hopes and dreams that our area, our country, our state, you know, our town is going to be a wonderful place to live. And that's all anybody wants. That's what we all want. And this is such a wake-up call of, we can't keep hiding our heads in the sand right now. It's gonna be a crazy ride. I just feel like this energy is so intense, and it's not gonna go away. We're all gonna be forced to face our demons. We're all gonna be forced to face the ego, which is you know, part of the life's journey. And then the last card is the 4 of Wands, completion. And I find this very interesting because there is the element that something is going to force the governments to work together as a team. And this may not sound like it has anything to do with you or I, but this is, it's almost like it's a shocker, almost like it's a, wow, you know, we need to understand that what all these other people are doing, what all these other governments are doing, what all these politicians are doing, down to the town, you know, it is all affecting us, and it's part of us. The global understanding is, you know, it doesn't mean that we have to put all this time and effort and be politicians and this and that. But with the world of technology the way it is, and the internet and all the information that we are able to receive, that we can be more educated, and that it's easier for us to vote, and it's easier for us to know who to vote for. And so this is changing the way that governments are run, because they can't keep on hiding behind something that they've always done, and they can't hide behind the good old boys club, and they can't hide behind all the money and the greed and the corruption that's going on a global scale anymore. And we're going to be watching we're going to be watching the walls come tumbling down, that tower. You know, we've seen a lot happen so far, but this is just the beginning. And this is where we need to take the stance of the energy of the full moon in Gemini, and honor that, and honor the fact that we're privy to this information. We're understanding, it's coming into our consciousness, and we're starting to understand, so we can do something about it. And this is information for you, and it's information for me. I'm like, what? But like I said, the contrast between expansion and the limiting thoughts of the ego is what's coming into play here. We've got that Sagittarius, which shows us the expansiveness of it all, and the depth and breadth of and the ramifications of what's going on, while the Gemini full moon shows us how the ego limits us and limits our perception of what's going on. We can honor this information, and if we can expand into this information, then we can expand into this next phase easier. Now you can take this has been very heavily it's been going towards the government, and I'm quite frankly surprised about it. But let's take this into a more personal, let's take this into a more personal place. Because if we can honor this information, then we can expand into the next phase of our lives easier. So even though this is a full moon, this is about endings, where there's an ending, there's a new beginning. And this is about transmuting that negative energy, that you know, that very toxic energy, and using that energy for our benefit. And that's what's really important about understanding why we work on the light versus the dark in metaphysical terms, and we all do it in one way or another. But what we do is when we bring subconscious thoughts, subconscious energy, and this is energy that's just been manifested over hundreds of thousands of years. It creates its own thought form, but it's subconscious. It's in our DNA. But if we can bring consciousness to it, if we can breathe a consciousness to it, you know, if it's implanted in our DNA, then we can implant a conscious energy into our DNA. And I know this might sound weird to some of you, but it makes sense, because if we can plant negative aspects of us into our DNA, then that means we can implant positive aspects into our DNA as well. And this knowledge, this conscious knowledge, changes everything. It just blows my mind. So let's recap. We have got Thanksgiving happening let's kind of bring it in a little bit and bring it towards you. We've got Thanksgiving this week. There is so much to be thankful for. It's a time that we see people we don't normally see, and sometimes we see people there's a reason why we don't see them. But they are our family and our friends, and it's time to, take this and put a different twist on it. Go in there and don't have any expectations of these people. Just stay in your energy, have fun, keep it light, keep it bright. Understand that everybody's facing this energy, and most people don't know what to do with it. If the conversation comes up, great. Maybe there is something that you say to somebody that helps them out and helps them to understand that they have the power to change the little piece of their world. And this also goes for, yourself. Maybe there's something there's a little click and you realize that, if you can just change one little part of your life, that you actually have control of your life, that creates a domino effect. This tower is about breaking down the walls of the ego so that we can bring in, see the eye is about expansion, being able to awaken to the truth. The eye, the all-seeing eye, the eye sees all. That's consciousness. And the ancients knew it. They knew about conscious awareness, and they knew about consciousness, and they knew how powerful it was. And what's really interesting about this is the monuments in DC have the all-seeing eye on it, and as well as some of the, I don't know if it's a dollar bill or whatever, but it's everywhere. So this is a universal theme that we all need to start to learn about, be aware of, and see where it fits into our life, and how we can change our view, our ways, in what it does in our manifesting abilities. Because quite frankly, you're manifesting every morning and every night anyway. So why not manifest consciously? Because the unconscious manifesting is getting us into a lot of trouble. And the wheels are spinning, and fear is just, I see some people kind of going out of control with the fear. So don't be the fear monger. Be the universal. Stay in that energy of the Sagittarius universal energy, and stay of the mindset of the full moon in Gemini energy, where you're conscious, you're starting to see what the ego is made of, so that you can start to change those things about yourself. It is a time of completion, so you will see people fall away. You may decide to that you're going to change jobs. It's just the end of a process, whatever that process is. And if we can kind of detach with that Gemini energy and see things from a different point of view, we can honor the phase that's over, and we can honor these people that we no longer wish to be around, or that don't want to be around us. We still, if we can honor that and we can get past that, it helps us to move forward into the next phase that the universe is trying to move us into. So with that being said, I send you love and blessings. I give thanks for all of you. I give thanks to my family, my friends, my life. And I send love to all those people that are not as fortunate as I am. Namaste. Love and blessings.